In the world of mixed martial arts, staying undefeated is no easy task, but these UFC fighters have done it against top-level competition. Today, we're breaking down the top undefeated active fighters on the UFC roster, those who haven't tasted defeat and are primed to make waves in their divisions. Shavkat Rakhmonov, welterweight. Shavkat is a perfect example of an all-rounded mixed martial artist. Known for his calm demeanor and versatile skill set, Shavkat has finished every fight in his career. His recent submission victory over Jeff Neal at UFC 285 cemented him as a major contender in the welterweight division. This fight proved he could go toe-to-toe with elite competition, handling Neal's power striking with ease before locking in a standing rear-naked choke in the final round. Although his title shot against Belal was cancelled, he is still the next in line for the belt. Movsar Evloev, featherweight. Movsar Evloev's undefeated record is built on a foundation of dominant wrestling and relentless pressure. In his latest win over Diego Lopes at UFC 288, Evloev displayed resilience, surviving multiple submission attempts in a close contest that showcased both his grappling skill and his heart. Evloev's ground control and grappling defense make him a nightmare for any opponent. Evloev is scheduled to face former UFC bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling on December 7, 2024 at UFC 310.
I was in Las Vegas when the Nogueira brothers first touched down in America. There was a bus this is a true story. There was a bus that pulled up to a red light, and Little Nog tried to feed it a carrot while Big Nog was petting it. He thought it was a horse. This really happened. Do you believe me that happened?
Not really.
He tried to feed a bus a carrot, and now you're telling me that country has computers? I didn't know that.
Umar Nurmagomedov, bantamweight. Following in the footsteps of his cousin Khabib, Umar Nurmagomedov has made a name for himself with the trademark Dagestani wrestling combined with a fluid striking. In his recent win over Raoni Barcelos, Umar scored a first-round knockout, showing his rapidly improving stand-up game and frightening versatility. Since his win against Sandhagen in August, Umar has been in talks for a title shot against bantamweight champion Merab Dvalishvili, although the Georgian does not seem that interested.
Do you not think Umar deserves to be put in a title shot at the moment?
Michael Morales, welterweight. This young Ecuadorian fighter is a rising star with a strong background in striking and an ever-improving grappling game. Morales recently secured an impressive TKO win over perennial welterweight gatekeeper Neil Magny last August, earning him a Performance of the Night bonus. Morales' ability to adapt his striking in close quarters is earning him attention as he works his way through the welterweight division. While his next opponent hasn't been confirmed, he's already on the radar as a fighter to watch.
Tito Ortiz, what happens when we die?
What happens when we die? I leave a legacy behind me that I've helped people, that I've been a factor in somebody's life in a positive manner, and knowing that it was Tito Ortiz that helped me get through that hard time. That's what happens when we die.
Ilia Topuria, featherweight. Topuria is an undefeated force in the featherweight division with a unique blend of powerful striking and slick grappling. In his latest fight, Topuria defended for the first time his featherweight belt, breaking the unbreakable chin of Max Holloway. After dispatching two of the featherweight GOATs in Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski in 2024, Topuria is in contention for Fighter of the Year against light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira. His next fight is rumored to be a rematch against Alex Volkanovski. Gene Matsumoto, bantamweight. Relatively new to the UFC, but an undefeated prospect, the Brazilian Gene Matsumoto is making waves with his sharp striking and polished footwork. His latest octagon appearance was a win against double Ultimate Fighter champ Brad Katona. Though he hasn't yet had the chance to face a big-name opponent, the former LFA champion Gene Matsumoto is already being scouted as one of the next big threats in the bantamweight division.
I mean, is there anyone at a high level who's undefeated in UFC?
No. I think the only one that has the closest undefeated record at a high level is Johnny Bones Jones, and the one loss that he does has was for a no contest.
You know, excluding yourself, If you were to name your Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters, the top 4 guys of all time, who would they be?
Hoist Gracie, Ken Shamrock, Randy Couture, and myself.
Ian Machado Garry, welterweight. Ian Garry, often compared to Conor McGregor for his charisma and Irish roots, is building a reputation as a lethal striker. His recent victory over Michael Venom Page wasn't the barn burner some fans expected, but Ian pushed his record to 15 wins with 0 losses. Gary's timing and fight IQ have helped him stay undefeated, and with his confidence at an all-time high, he's rumored to be scheduled to fight against rising contender Joaquin Buckley in a near future. Sharabutdin Magomedov, middleweight. Magomedov is the rare Dagestani fighter who doesn't possess their signature wrestling background. Known for his calculated aggression and raw athleticism, Magomedov's record includes a series of impressive finishes. With 4 fights in the UFC, all taking place in the Middle East, it's still unclear if Sharabullet can pass an eye test to fight in the States. His last knockout win against Armen Petrosyan is probably in line for Knockout of the Year 2024, and also got him a spot inside the UFC top 15 rankings.
I thought it was awesome. Johnny Walker had been making comments about fighting me, looking past his opponent, and they say be cocky, eat cocky, right?
Lerone Murphy, featherweight. The undefeated English featherweight Lerone Murphy has steadily climbed the ranks with his boxing skills and defensive wrestling. His recent unanimous decision win over Dan Ige showcased his patience and control as Murphy used his footwork and jab to outpoint his opponent. Currently ranked number 11 on the UFC rankings, Murphy is currently looking to be booked against a top 10 featherweight in his next fight. Azamat Muzakanov, light heavyweight. This Russian powerhouse is known for his heavy hands and aggressive style. In his most recent fight, Muzakanov showcased his knockout power against Alonzo Manifield with a stunning second round finish. With 10 knockouts in 14 professional fights, fans eagerly await his return to the octagon, where his punching power and grappling are sure to make an impact. He's currently ranked number 11 on the UFC rankings and was scheduled to face Nikita Krylov at UFC 309, but withdrew for undisclosed reasons.
Would have beat Anderson? If I would have beat, did you watch that fight? In what parallel universe can you punch a man 300 times? He wraps his legs around your head for 8 seconds and they declare him the winner. In my hometown, on the streets of Westland, Oregon, if you lay on your back with your legs wrapped around a man's head for 8 seconds, that does not make you a winner. That makes not a winner.
Khamzat Chimaev, middleweight. Chimaev's meteoric rise is nothing short of remarkable. Known for his intense pressure and versatile ground game, Khamzat recently secured an imposing first-round stoppage over perennial top contender Robert Whittaker. Chimaev's explosive grappling and willingness to stand and trade make him one of the most dangerous undefeated fighters on the roster. After several health issues that delayed his career, Khamzat is now eyeing a potential title shot against Dricus du Plessis, which would cap his unprecedented rise in the UFC. Tatiana Suarez, strawweight. Suarez, a former wrestling standout, is one of the most dominant grapplers in the women's divisions. With several health issues delaying her early career, she recently made her comeback with a submission victory over former champion Jessica Andrade, reasserting her position as a top contender. She's already beaten 3 former champions in Andrade, Alexa Grasso, and Carla Esparza, all of them by stoppage. She's scheduled to fight Verna Jandiroba at UFC 310, with the winner most likely positioned for a title shot against Chinese champion Zheng Weili. Which one of these do you think will lose their perfect record first? And which undefeated fighter in the UFC that we didn't include here deserved to be on this list? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. Stay tuned for more MMA content really soon.
How many times a week training do I do for this fight? I train 6 days a week. 5 days a week. I'll train 3 days a week. One of those days I will train 2 days of the week. So 6 days a week I'll be training.